I'm always ready.
Morning, guys. Welcome to Surf Casting. We're at Amanzimtoti at the moment. Today is the 22nd of August 2021, guys. Welcome, Pierre.
Hi, morning. You caught me a bit off guard this morning. Bit of a rough morning. But sure, just to give you a bit of a rundown about surf casting. You know, the name has changed. It used to be called peg. I think the name peg was just used so that people can recognize or get half an idea of what the fishing facet's all about. Because you fish in a peg, you draw a peg. I'm a rock and surf angler that got converted. So the difference between rock and surf casting is that rock and surf, you fish a big boundary and you can move between these two boundaries. You can fish off rocks, you can fish off a pier, you can fish off the beach. Surf casting is just what it says, surf casting. You fish off the surf only. Everybody gets exactly or as close to one another's peg. The beach will be the same. So we try and get the pegs. So if you pick the one right at the end and the other guy picks one right at the other end, your conditions in front of you is pretty much similar, or as close together, as close to the conditions as we can get it, so that everybody's got a playing field, you know, a fair playing field, yeah, so that you can test your skills pretty much. So I started fishing this just to support Sash, because she wanted to go, because I also thought it was just going to go catch some bait. And you know what, the competitive part of this, technical and the competitive part of this facet of fishing is really amazing. If you're a competitive angler, you'll enjoy it, and it's fun. It's good fun because there's usually something happening. Very seldom you find that you don't get bites. Very seldom that you find you don't get fish. And it's the time factor. It's a fast sport. You're only fishing for 4 hours, and you've got to catch your fish in the 4 hours.
You've got a peg.
Yeah.
So you've got a peg on the beach. It's a 20-meter stretch, and so when you get to your peg, you are busy sorting out your bait at the back of your peg. You cannot let your bait even go halfway into your peg when baiting up, because it's seen as chumming. When the water rises, it'll obviously drag your bait into the sea, and then you've got an unfair advantage. So you quickly set up all your bait, your traces, your tripod you can put on, because obviously you want to try fishing without holding your rod, because international FIPS rules state that your rod has to be in the tripod. Then your fish goes on, you grab your rod, you run back, you put your fish in a bucket to keep them alive, and that's the awesome conservation side of it. Then you can cast again as soon as your fish is in the bucket, but then you have to run back, measure your fish, sign it off, and go release your fish before you're on. And sometimes you're on with 3 fish straight after that. So the aim of the game is to get as many fish in 4 hours. So if you time it and you can do a fish every 15 minutes, and then it's quite a fast day. Then it's 4 fish per hour, which gives you 16 fish. I mean, there's been days where Zayed has gotten what was the most that Zayed got? 16, 15, 20 something
20 fish, yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
So, and at the end, there's little technical things. If you cast and there's a big wash, you might end up in someone's peg with your sinker. If that happens again, you have to throw a grapnel sinker to sit and stay, and that's actually quite hard. So you must put the right sinkers, and that's where we put Tronics Pro. Short cast sinkers. Colorful as well, so it's like an attractant, and because you've got traces lying on the beach, you can see them so you don't step in hooks. So that's a brief introduction to surf casting.
Thanks, you,
Danny.
Yeah, just back onto the sinkers. I know there was quite a stir on social media about the colors and all of that and gimmicks and stuff. there's nothing gimmicky about the color of the sinkers. When you're fishing a high facet of angling like this, you sometimes change traces to 5 different traces in 5 minutes. So you end up with a whole bunch of sinkers and traces and hooks in your camp in and around the area that you're fishing. And if you can't see your sinkers, you don't know where your trace is, because we're fishing light tackle, we're fishing light line. And if the guys are wondering, but you can see your line on the beach, we're fishing sometimes with 6 pound and 4 pound and 5 pound line. So that lying on the beach with a small little hook of a gape of 7 millimeters, you don't see it. So with your sinker being a nice bright color, you know that you're approaching your trace if you see the sinker.
Or the marshal is approaching.
Or your marshal that's coming to mark, or somebody that's coming for an emergency to see through your peg, they can see there's traces on the beach because they can see the sinkers on the beach. And then also when you do fish internationally in those competitions where they do fish over into the darker times, you shine the UV torch on the sinker
And it stays in,
and it becomes quite a nice attractant for small fish. Anybody that has been fishing and knows fishing,
Those are cob likes that colour.
well, most fish are attracted by light. When you've got a small dull light in the middle of the sea, oaks that has been diving, for instance, you'll know that if you put a small little light or a glow stick on the sand, all the small fish in the area, and not even small fish, most fish in the area will come and investigate. They'll be in and around that color. Rock and surf oaks will know that. You put a glow stick on your bait, and sometimes the grey shark loves it.
Are we talking about the color sinkers?
The color
Yes.
sinkers, yeah. So if you're not sure about why this sinker is sprayed a color, it's not even sprayed a color. It's a special coating that you put on.
But come fish as a guest and you'll get a
Yeah.
better introduction.
So for everybody, whether it's peg fishing or surf casting, drone fishing, rock and surf fishing, I think we all love the same thing. We just use different methods in doing and enjoying the sport we love. If you're from inland and you don't come down to the coast a lot, then obviously drone fishing might be the best thing for you, because then you get your bait into an area that in the past we used to only be able to achieve with a boat and with a kite and with those little dingle hopper stuff. If you're an oak on the coast and you enjoy fishing for inedible fish, rock and surf is what you want to do. If you're a competitive angler and you like competing against the guy next to you, surf casting is what you want to do. If you want to learn about surf fishing in general, whether it's rock and surf or surf casting is the way you should be starting, because you learn how to read water in a very short space of time. You learn what bait the fish want to eat. You learn where to find your fish in a short space of time. So I think for juniors, for ladies that want to get into the rock and surf maybe, this is a very nice starting point. And it's a multi-international facet. We've got, I think, 27 countries competing internationally at the World Games and in the World Championships. So it's not just limited to our country and Namibia.
Well,
If
thanks,
there's
Pierre.
anything else,
Thanks,
let me
Pierre.
know.
Thanks, Pierre. Thanks, buddy.
Right.